Good morning and welcome to the Hermes Task Group. So today we're doing a three-part series on the basics of CombatFlite, and this is part one. We're aiming at pilots who are just beginning to lead flights and need to clearly and coherently kind of communicate a mission plan to their wingmen and women. The information in here doesn't cover a lot of the advanced functionality in CombatFlite, but it should give you the foundation you need to plan complex joint ops in the future. Our scenario is just going to be a training mission for 2 ship Harriers to go in and strike a pair of compounds. So let's get started with some of the basics that we need. So here's our window. You can see the main CombatFlite planning window here with our Caucasus map as shown. There are a couple of different maps that you can view here. There's the traditional kind of VFR sectional and the flappy version of the map. Either's good, just choose whichever is more appropriate for your planning purposes. If you are in a different theatre or it starts in a different theatre, you can just go to File, Change Theatre, DCS, and then select the one that's appropriate for your particular mission. The first thing that we're going to do today is go into the options and settings, and we're going to make sure that all our flights are listed. So unless you explicitly tell CombatFlite which flights you're going to be using, you will have to use the default, which we don't want to do. So today we're going to just add Saxon, Trident, Vixen, Gold, and Red flights. So they'll stay there in the program. We won't need to re-add them, but they will be there for future reference. Next thing we're going to do real quick is just make sure our coalitions are set. We only need UK and Russia today. If you need to change them, it's just simply a case of just moving them over and setting them as required. You must have a minimum of 1 on each side, otherwise CombatFlite will throw an error message. The other thing to note is in the options section you should have Snap 2 enabled. That's particularly helpful later on when we start assigning waypoints and the like. And just for a quick orientation, you have 2 additional windows here. We've got the mission window, which contains our flight list, which we'll deal with in a moment, our package lists, layers, and then our user-created objects are here. And another helpful feature is the layers map, the layer section, so we can turn on, turn off various overlays as we need them. Okay, so that's it for part 1. Pop in for part 2, where we go through adding our assets and threats.